Hello and welcome, I'm Askar Sherlief with the latest news from Kazakhstan. Residents of a Kazakh village Arnasay on the border with Uzbekistan will be relocated to the area center, the town of Shardra, reported on Thursday the mayor of the settlement. Earlier this week, Uzbek frontier guards blocked the access to the village through the only highway and reinforced all nearby checkpoints. This led to a situation when many local residents could no longer reach the area center on the territory of Kazakhstan. According to the Shardra mayor, on Thursday the circumstances have changed for the better.
The village Arnasay is located between two Uzbek posts. Only one of the posts allows people to pass the border. On Thursday, I personally visited the area and everything was fine there. We have proposed to resettle 72 households to Shardara to avoid further problems. The required documents had been submitted already and the matter is dealt with by the regional emergency department. At the moment, we're waiting until the state pays compensations, after which the people will be relocated to Shardara.
A new social conflict erupted in the Almaty suburbs on Thursday. Several dozen people claim they have the right to own land lots near the city border. The 30 hectares in question were indeed set aside for the construction of housing, although the land already has an owner.
On June 10th, about 50 people expressed their intention to become unlicensed developers, demanding the authorities to allocate them land lots at the border of the Almaty region and metropolis. The rally participants shouted slogans and waved flags with national symbols, completely ignoring the nearby police patrol. About 400 families want to develop the area of more than 30 hectares, having already divided the land among themselves. They must give me some land so I can build a house. I don't want to take a 20-year mortgage for an apartment. As a citizen of Kazakhstan, I have the right for a piece of land. 1 hour later, the head of the Rainbek rural district of the Almaty region arrived at the scene. Disconcerted people saying that the land is privately owned by the company Otau Service.
These lands are privately owned, so whatever they do here is illegal. We're telling them all the time that they cannot develop this area. Tomorrow they will meet with the landowners.
Owners are not. Rally participants still want the land and are even ready to pay for it, although at state prices. In case their ultimatum is not met, people threaten to block the Almaty-Bishkek highway. The demands first surfaced 4 days ago when developers argued that the land in question was abandoned for a long time. The head of the rural district managed to calm people down only by promising to set up a meeting with the landowners on June 11th.
Only a couple of days are left until the bill on the leader of nation will automatically become a law, unless President Nazarbayev will officially veto it. On Thursday, even senior officials admitted that perhaps this was the plan all along. At the same time, Kazakh MPs asked the head of state to respond to the bill in accordance with set procedures, while the opposition believes a referendum on the resignation of Nazarbayev and dissolution of parliament must be held in Kazakhstan.
Members of the unregistered party Alga believe Kazakhstan citizens and the president share one important understanding. Nazarbayev is not the leader of nation.
Today we adopted a resolution on the early resignation of the first Kazakh president, dissolution of the parliament's both chambers and early transparent elections.
On June 4th, Nursultan Nazarbayev sent a message to the parliament saying he wanted to remain a leader of the nation without any special laws and refusing to sign the bill. The MPs seemed happy to see yet another confirmation of the president's wisdom, although it caused even more doubts later on.
So was that a veto or just a delayed law? Many lawyers say that there was a loophole in the legislature which allows a bill unsigned within 30 days to automatically become a law, as it was previously passed by both chambers.
The possibility of this development was confirmed by the president's advisor Yermohamed Yertezbayev, who made a statement to the press on June 7th. Yertezbayev said that a month later the law will come into force on its own, or maybe not.
If the president does not sign the bill, then there are different approaches to the matter. The constitution does have a provision which was mentioned by Yertezbayev.
The president himself said that the status of the leader of nation cannot be gained by laws, decrees or regulations. The MPs, though, only intended to consolidate the legal status quo, and now, having one refusal, they do not want to stop halfway through and will follow the leader until the end.
It is a different question whether the law will come into force and how it will work. In order to get rid of any possible problems, I believe the president should veto the bill.
In any case, the bill is stuck at the stage of the president's signing. Only 3 days are left for Nazarbayev to make a decision.
Bostandik District Court of Almaty continues legal proceedings on the forced demolition of private homes for already the second month. The Almaty administration explains the necessity for these measures by the city's plans to use the area for the construction of new housing. Residents of 8 private homes, however, do not like the offer.
Roman Goncharov has a few more days to enjoy playing in the large yard before moving to a small one-bedroom apartment on the outskirts of Almaty. His father, Igor Goncharov, is contesting the eviction decision made by the city council. In total, 3 families currently live in the house. The $50,000 offered by the state in exchange for their residence is enough only for a small flat. By a strange coincidence, all apartments offered to the families in exchange of the house are either already occupied by real estate companies or do not exist at all. People are outraged by the methods used by Almaty officials in dealing with various issues and say the authorities are only interested in fulfilling personal interest and corruption.
We like living here, but the authorities want to evict us, saying that the lot is required for the construction of the state residential block. That is not true. According to the project plans, the place will be occupied by a commercial block.
Meanwhile, the appraiser Almaty lowered the cost of the dwelling twofold. For instance, according to the company, Goncharov's house is worn out by 97%. In other words, only a foundation should have remained in place of the construction. On the other hand, independent appraisers believe the house corresponds to the market value, but for some reason the official appraiser and the developer Center Plus do not want to make this conclusion. They, however, are always ready to prove their point through force. Now the residents of the house are waiting for the final court decision and still hope that in the end the judge will make a fair ruling and not leave several families on the streets.
Disabled miners from Karaganda plan to hold a rally in Astana on June 10th, demanding the adjustment of their social benefits. Instead, people were met halfway by state officials who arranged seemingly successful negotiations and sent the workers back to Karaganda all on the same day.
On Thursday, June 10th, miners from Karaganda who received disabilities at work were promised the raise of their social payments. In response, handicapped persons demanded to link their benefits to the wages of now employed miners.
If we will make another compromise, we will not achieve anything. The management will say that a settlement was reached after some talks and then they left. But we're not slaves, we're the people, and therefore we want our regress benefits to equal the salaries.
Karaganda's disabled miners specifically came to Astana to set up a strike camp near the building of the Labor Ministry. However, they were met by officials at the city entrance and brought for behind-the-closed-doors meetings with the MPs and the ministry's leadership. The disabled miners planned to visit Astana a month ago, waiting for the state support for the last 3 years. The parliament did review the amendments that allowed the adjustment of benefits, but the lawmakers did not accept them. This was surprising, since all expenses are covered not by the state but employers. Nevertheless, the Labor Ministry promised to raise the amount of payments.
We must definitely address this issue and pass amendments to the law on the reimbursement of payments for workers of companies that no longer exist and for those whose payments require adjustments. The calculation will be based on the growth of the minimum payments rates.
By evening, the miners were taken back to Karaganda. The disabled people believed the officials but promised to return if their demands will not be fulfilled. Representatives of the Labor Ministry assured the revised bill on the adjustment of payments will reach the parliament already in September. The innovation will cost employers approximately $14 million annually.